order to handle all of these things, being a mom, being a student, being an entrepreneur, you have to take care of you first. I always knew that I wanted the Chanel agency to be something more than modeling.
She's working with designers, she's working with models, she's working with hairstylists, she's working with makeup artists. She's literally doing it all.
Wake up at 4:30 in the morning. And I'm able to do my meditations, I'm able to do yoga, I'm able to work out if I want to. My team, like the people that I've been doing this agency with, because it'll be a year next month.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. They have been amazing, man. Like,
as a female owner, what are some pros and cons that you've taken through your experience so far?
Main coach will be humble, like strip your ego. I knew I always wanted to be something much bigger, like all for business consultations, photography, of course, but we're very different when it comes to that. We're full service, so you can get hair, makeup, styling, creative director, all of that in one. But the wellness is one of them with cosmetics, and with that we have a salon coming in. We're going to the top, man. We ain't doing nothing but getting bigger, expanding, and just sharing the love and sharing the self-development and professional enlightenment to
That's it. What's up, everyone? It's your host, Xavier Smith, here with Miss Coach Chanel. Super duper excited to be out here in Houston because Pay Attention is big on black brands, it's big on celebrating ownership, and we definitely are excited to have you on. She has a premier talent agency and modeling agency, started out of Houston, Texas, and we're going to find out more about her brand.
So, this episode of Pay Attention TV is sponsored by Paperclips Media. I started off in Chicago, now I'm based in Houston. I've been doing this over 5 years. Photography, for me, is creation. It's being spontaneous. It's creating moments that's gonna last forever. It's being creative. It's being innovative. It's networking, building relationships. It's so much more than just pictures, because it's memories, for real. When I first started photography, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, this kind of overhyped. Like, what's so important about this? I liked what I did always. It wasn't until I actually sat down and realized, like, we ain't gonna always look this good right now while we looking this good. You know what I'm saying? We are actually creating moments in time that's gonna last forever. And that's a beautiful thing. If you got a concept or a celebration, I'm there. Don't forget to book a phone consultation too, just in case you don't see the packages that you're looking for. I specialize in packages. Make sure y'all follow me on all platforms at Monte Papers. Make sure y'all go check out the website, www.montepapers.com. Thank you.
First and foremost, can you just give them information about who you are and where they can follow you at on all platforms?
All right, y'all. I am Coach Chanel. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Coach Chanel _. You can follow the Chanel Agency, which is my CEO founding, at the Chanel.agency.
Lit. Okay, lit. So I'm super duper excited. I want to start off by saying thank you again for your time. I think it's very important for us to come out. So I appreciate you for taking the time out your day so we can talk a little bit more about you. Yeah. This interview is about you celebrating your business, celebrating your brand. And of course, I want to learn more about the brand and just learn something from you as well.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
Okay, lit. So with that being said, my first question is, you know, what was your upbringing like? Are you originally from Houston? What's that story?
So I would like to say that I'm from Houston, but I actually was born in Galveston County. So I grew up in a little small town called Lamarck, Texas. And then I came to Houston. I spent most of my time in Missouri City area. Graduated from Marshall High School in 2017. Shout out to Go Bucks, you know. But yeah, my upbringing was very different. I had the best of both worlds. Like I lived in damn near every part of Houston. Like it's really why my network is the way that it is. From the south to the east to the little bit of the north, but mostly the west. And I grew up just being so interactive with everything. Like I had my grandmother. She had me. I was a ballerina for 14 years. I played soccer. Yeah, a lot of people don't even know that.
Okay,
but yeah, definitely did that for a long time. That was my passion. Dance was my first love, you know. So yeah, I danced, I sang, I was in everything. I acted, I even did some stuff with Disney. Like my grandma kept me so busy, but home life for me was real. Like I grew up in lower income areas, so you know, I had the best of both worlds. I was coming home not knowing if the water gonna be on or how food would be, but you know, I got ballerina practice on the weekend, so I gotta go. You know, it was a A best of both worlds, pretty much my upbringing. Like it was a lot, but I loved it. Like it was a lot of trauma, but it was a lot of creativity to allow me to really find myself and who I am. So,
okay, that's lit. Okay, so with that being said, you know, thank you for just being transparent, for diving into a little bit about your past, you know. But that leads me directly to my next question.
Okay.
You know, when we talk about branding, business ownership on Pay Attention, you know, that leads me to ask you, were there any entrepreneurs, any business owners, any hustlers in the family that kind of helped shape you into what you do today?
Yeah, both of my parents were hustlers. Like, I didn't have the best relationship with my mom, but she made sure we were okay. Like, I saw her struggle as a single mother, 4, soon to be 5, and you know, she did what she had to do to get, you know, do what she could. And then my dad too, he was a hustler. He had different businesses. He was an artist. He did a lot of different stuff. But my grandmother, she worked in corporate for many years. So I wouldn't say I really had entrepreneurs. They always had like jobs. Because even now, like, my parents don't really necessarily, I don't want to say support what I do, but they have things that they would much rather me be doing rather than being an entrepreneur, because they don't just quite understand that aspect. But to me, I saw that they were very entrepreneur driven. They just didn't know it.
That's real.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's lit.
That's how that was for me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And so how do you like to spend your time when it comes to hobbies or just freelance?
Hobbies, I'm trying to get back into dance. I actually just found an instructor in Houston that I'm kind of like, let me, you know, start back into that. And but I work all the time. Like, I'm doing something with an agency, because it started off as a modeling agency, but it expanded to be so much more, and all of these things that I've like had my hand in, because I'm into production and film. I did that a little bit for TSU. I did hosting. I do radio. So it's like I have a lot of different things that I do, but the best of it all is I am a mom. So like being a mom is definitely a job, a hobby. Like, it's an everyday role and cap that I feel like I do tremendously.
Okay, let's stay right there for one question.
Okay.
You know, what's it like being a mom, business owner, and balancing those two very different lifestyles?
Oh, it's just really like just having, I have an amazing support team, first of all, let me say that. Like, my child's grandparents are very active. My child's father's family is very active. My grandmother's very active. So definitely have to give props to them. Without them, I would not be able to move how I move, but I'm blessed to have them. But just having a clear communication with my team, letting them know, like, hey, this is what's going on. Like, this is, you know, I may be, you know, whatever. Or just having a plan, really. Like, knowing what it is you want to do, when you want to do it, and knowing the things you have to consider, and just making sure those things are handled always. Thank you.
Yeah.
Handle always, but yeah, that's pretty much how I juggle it, to be honest. And my son is like amazing. He's so smart. He's like my best friend. Like, we literally just talk all day long. I let him know about like my life, and try to let him know. He's only 2, so I try to let him know. But he understands very well to me too, and he just makes it even easier for me, honestly.
Okay,
yeah.
For sure. And so, just while we're still talking about you, what do you believe in when it comes to self-development? You know, what do you like to practice? How do you pour into yourself to be a mom, 1, to be an entrepreneur, 2, to be a business owner, 3? You know, how do you practice self-development in all 3 of those? That's
really funny that you asked me that, because I literally just started a new routine. So I'm newly vegan.
Lit.
And I mentioned that because I feel like in order to handle all of these things, being a mom, being a student, being an entrepreneur, you have to take care of you first. So I set these goals for myself to wake up at 4:30 in the morning, and I'm able to do my meditations, I'm able to do yoga, I'm able to work out if I want to, I'm able to get a couple hours to work on whatever I was thinking about before I went to bed, and being able to just give myself that self-care, really journal and figure out exactly like what's going on with me. That time is very important because it just keeps me balanced. Like, I do so much, like it's crazy, and I know it sometimes confuses my audience, but self-development, I would just say having that that time to yourself, being able to journal and to be creative, like it helps you figure out exactly who you are.
Okay.
So you just be able to be more confident and stern in with everything that you do, and it kind of just flows.
Okay,
Yeah.
for sure. So with your new routine, to the people that's watching, what's one thing that you would like to give them for your routine that you would encourage them to at least try or to see if it works for them?
Journaling for sure. Like, I feel like, especially as an African American, we don't understand how much trauma we've endured, and that's like step one to figuring out, you know, self-development and figuring out what you want to do and who you are and what your purpose is. So I would definitely say that's number uno, like for sure. Just being able to have that calming moment, regardless of what you do, you just be in a calm state and being able to just write how you feel, write things that you're grateful for, and just honestly, like talking to your inner you and giving yourself that confirmation that you may be seeking in the world, you know. And that's something that I would definitely like push on other people, because everything else that I kind of do, I'm very spiritual. It's kind of like Babylon to some people, so it's like that's like the first step into, you know, that whole thing. But,
Lit.
yeah.
Okay, lit. Well, I definitely learned a little bit more about you, about your routine, how you like to pour into yourself, balancing life as a mom, as an entrepreneur, just really how grateful you are for your family. I think that's really important. So I learned a lot about you. The fact that you're from Houston, I'm from Houston. So
Look,
it's lit. It's lit. Shout out to the H.
Look.
For sure, for sure.
We going up.
Lit. So now, the main purpose, the main point of this interview is to highlight your success.
Okay.
Right? Pay Attention is big on bringing Black ownership. Right? I actually am in partnership with a very close friend of ours, Lamonte Price.
Yes,
shout out Monte Papers. Yes, sir. So we very big on financial literacy, and one thing that we focus on is the circulation of the Black dollar. So in the Caucasian community, the dollar circulates 26 days. In the Asian community, it circulates 28 days. And in the Black community, it circulates 6 hours. So we really want to help people understand, invest more Black businesses, invest more Black brands, and find out what we can do to help support each other in our communities, because in the end, we're all that we have.
Right.
You know, so with that being said, with the Chanel agency, you know, what is the inspiration behind you wanting to be in front of the entertainment industry with your brand?
So initially, I always knew that I wanted the Chanel agency to be something more than modeling. So originally, I branded it to be modeling, but because it just fit Coach Chanel, like my image and what everything that I had going on. So in my audience and stuff at that moment, when I started it, but I knew I always wanted to be something much bigger, like almost a healing place for creatives. Because like I said, my lifestyle and my things that I do, I feel I live by them. I literally like, you know, inform as many of my peers as I can, because I know it works. So a lot of people know the agency as being a modeling agency, but we're actually like what you would call technically a talent agency, but I don't really like that term. I like to go for a business incubator. Like, you come in saying, hey, I am an aspiring photographer. We basically pretty much take you in and help you develop the skills that you need to be the photographer you aspire to be. We create these opportunities for you, push you to these different connections that I do have, or you know, anybody within the team, and it's kind of just like a big creative hub. So we have literally 9 different departments. A lot of people don't even know about.
Wow, that's big.
Health and wellness is one of them with cosmetics, and with that we have a salon coming in. With that, the artists and makeup artists and everybody that's involved with the cosmetic team, they'll be working out of the salon for free, and we'll be helping them with any you know, marketing or logos, websites, their booking, everything, pretty much getting them like business ready and pushing them off into the world, and just kind of keeping that cycle. Because I feel like that's is needed, especially in our community. It is needed, and the agency, majority of us are of color, you know what I'm saying, but we don't shy away from anybody. You know, we know the struggle of what it is to be a creative and have parents who've worked these jobs and they don't understand it. So you have no support, you know, you have to be your support. So for us to just have this team and this agency and be a business incubator for all creatives, even graphic designers, model, everything, like literally everything. Yeah, we doing something different. Like it's really something different. This is something that I don't feel like is really being done, especially for my community at our age. But the agency, we were going to the top, man. We ain't doing nothing but getting bigger, expanding, and just sharing the love and sharing the self-development and professional enlightenment to
That's
you know,
lit.
everybody that
Okay.
want to get involved.
For sure. So if you follow Chanel's personal page in her business page, you'll see she's working with designers, she's working with models, she's working with hairstylists, she's working with makeup artists.
Yes.
She's literally doing it all.
Nightlife events, like
All of
literally,
it,
all of
literally.
it,
And I saw you do a casting call.
Yeah.
So
we
that
had-
leads me to my next. What are some projects that you favor, that you remember, that you like the most
Oh my God.
with Chanel? Just what you've done in the past.
Okay, so let me tell you, my team, like the people that I've been doing this agency with, because it'll be a year next month.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. They have been amazing, man. Like literally coming from all walks of life. Like these people have just been amazing. But answer your question, my fashion shows, like I remember our first fashion show and I knew it was gonna be like a fail, but I understood. I was in a part of my journey spiritually and, you know, developing myself to where it's like, you can't be afraid to fail. You be afraid to fail, you'll never take a step. Like, you gonna do this and you gonna fail. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know how this goes. You never been to a fashion show for real, but you know this is something that you want to do and you want to take on and learn. So I just jumped out and did it and it was horrible. Like, my speech was horrible. I don't want to say it was horrible. Let me not say that.
It wasn't the
My
best.
team, we did what we could in a short span of time, but it was nothing like I envisioned it. It was nothing of the goal or nothing like that, but I learned so much.
Okay.
And so we had another fashion show. It was better. And then we recently did a fashion show at Post Houston, and that opportunity just took me back like, wow, girl, imagine if you was scared and you didn't like take that step. If you didn't do this, now you connecting in with Sheila Jackson Lee and, you know, HPD and all these
Right.
people are supporting you. They know your brand and they pulling up, and it's just like a lot. So definitely Post Houston putting together that show was just amazing. And actually, I got a shout out to Cash McIntosh, my sis Reese, as well as
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, shout out to Wear Models, because they really took me under their wing and kind of just helped me out with like, okay, this is how a fashion show goes, whatever. But they saw that drive in me and it went crazy. But yeah, my fashion shows, the next one we got coming is gonna be stupid. Like
Okay.
I plan on doing this consistently. So
Okay.
we're just scaling it to be bigger, but yeah.
Okay, that's lit. That's
Yeah,
lit. So, just to stay right there, because a lot of college students, a lot of athletes, a lot of business owners, a lot of people in life fail.
Right.
And oftentimes, people get discouraged and they will stop. They would turn away. They would give up on their dreams. They would isolate themselves. So, you know, just from your perspective, you know what I'm saying, what did you learn from pushing through failure? You know, or like I like to say, what did you learn from failing forward?
Strip your ego, kill it immediately. Like, you have to take your ego out of it, because it's, especially if you have a purpose. Like, I have a purpose. Like, I real life call myself a healer. I real life take in these people who have all type of trauma and talk them through it. Like, I also study psychology too, so this has always been like something that I've envisioned for myself, and even after the agency,
That's
you know,
lit.
to do. But yeah, strip your ego. Like, don't nobody care. Like, to say it, especially starting off, don't nobody care. Like, yeah, have your confidence. A lot of people kind of like mix the two. Like, you got to be arrogant or cocky. Like, no, remain coachable, be humble. Like, strip your ego, because that's when people gonna want to do stuff for you for free. Like,
Okay.
I was at Post Houston for free. I didn't pay anything.
Oh, wow.
I
That's
didn't
big.
pay anything, and that just goes to show, like, when you do good into the universe, it come back into you, and that's in every aspect of life, including business. So strip the ego, kill it.
Yeah.
Hashtag kill the ego. It's dead. You know. So,
Okay,
yeah.
that's lit. Okay, man, it's a lot of great content that you're giving that I'm learning. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm definitely liking what I'm hearing. But to just give it more, because I don't want to take too much from you, but I know it's more we
No,
can get.
I'm giving. We
Yeah.
good,
Okay, lit. So for the business women, let's talk to the female entrepreneurs,
Okay.
the femalepreneurs, the boss ladies. We have a lot of female businesses owners coming out, starting. I think the next 10 years, the next decade is going to be the decade of women.
Okay.
You know, becoming CEOs, becoming owners, getting to the bag. You know what I'm saying? Which you're already doing.
Right.
But as a female owner, what are some pros and cons that you've taken through your experience so far?
I know y'all seen the arrow, but man, like, it's a lot. Like, being a female in the industry that I'm working in, you obviously, number one, you always got to deal with the weirdos, the creepos, the people who don't really want to do business, take you serious as an entrepreneur. They kind of just want to do other things, and it's kind of like, so I would say when dealing with that, like, make it clear, first of all, because I've run into situations where it'll be I'll be wasting my time, you know, and you have to understand as an entrepreneur, as a woman, like your time is your money. Like if it ain't about getting to the next level, if they not serious about it, you don't even need to show up. Like you need to have that understanding and grace to where you present your business and whatever you do to be like, look, I'm about business. If you're not trying to do this and this is what it is, then you're not my audience. Let me keep going. And having that confidence to know like all men are not like toxic. All men are not like belittling to women. Like it's literally like growing through your trauma, to be honest. Because for me, that's like one of my biggest overcomes, like being an entrepreneur. Because I had trauma with men. I'm like, I don't want to be around. I don't want to be alone. I don't want you to look at me. Like let me just stay over here. I'm not gonna say nothing. But and I kind of lost my voice in the process of it. But understanding and having a confidence, like, look, boy, this is how this is gonna go. This is gonna be business. Like keep it business, and just having that confidence that I know that my quality of work is gonna speak for itself. That's how.
Okay, what are 3 traits or characteristics you think all female business women should have, or at least work on?
Confidence, for sure.
Confidence.
What can I say? Accountability.
Accountability.
Because black women don't like to be accountable for some things, but you know.
Okay.
And real. Then be coachable.
Be coachable.
You can learn from the oldest person. You can learn from. I learn from my 2-year-old all the time, like for real. And it's almost scary, but it's true. So just be coachable. Like that's how you're gonna get all your blessings. That's how you're gonna meet all your marks, and just breathe and
Okay. What advice would you like to give to that next woman that's watching this? You know, whether they're in school, whether they're in business, whether they're just living life working 9 to 5. You know, what advice would you like to give to that next woman watching this video?
I would say to just do it. Like, don't make up any excuses in your head. Don't let the fact that nobody is supporting you or you feel like you're getting the support you need to do what it is you want to do. Just do it. Like, make it work. Cry if you have to. Do whatever you got to do. But go through the process and be grateful for the process. Like, just believe in yourself. Like, for real.
That's real. Okay. And so the last question of this interview.
Okay.
Right. What are some end of the year goals you have for yourself and or for the Chanel agency?
For myself,
2022.
2022, I will be in Atlanta full time. I will be pushing the Chanel agency and having a headquarters out there. And so within the next couple of months, for sure, the agency will have a headquarters in Houston before I dip out on y'all. And I don't even want to say dip out because I'm gonna be back and forth, you know. But
the next chapter is Atlanta, at ATL.
But I will be finishing my getting my degree at Texas Southern, and then I probably will be getting my master's in Atlanta. So I'm gonna be, that's the goal, right?
So that's a good personal goal. Okay, and when can people expect to see the next fashion show if they want to come out?
So fashion shows, we're gonna do those 4 times a year. The next fashion show we will have. So we're gonna have 2 fashion shows before we do the 4 a year. So we're gonna do a P-Valley After Dark fashion show. Okay. So that's gonna be a invite only type of show, advocating for sexual education because I'm starting something within my nonprofit. Then we will have an Oscar theme, Stars Within is what it's called. Later on, I'm not sure when that is, but for sure the September one is going to be the P-Valley one. So I'm going to be inviting out, handpicking people from Houston, like people that's doing something, entrepreneurs and stuff like that. That's for sure. But I'll be having a lot more seminars as far as like cosmetics and things, content shoots as far as photography too that you can look forward to coming up real soon.
Okay, There's a lot of great things that I've heard about the Chanel agency and a lot of new things coming with the agency. So I'm excited to just have you on. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I learned a lot. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you got something to add to your repertoire, to add to your portfolio. Then again, we have Chanel. Where can they follow you at on all? I said Chanel. We have Miss Cole here.
Yes.
Where can they follow you at on all?
I need to say that publicly. I like to be called Cole. When people call me Chanel, I'll be like, why? That sounds so mean. But either one is fine. But no, you can find me on all platforms at ColeChanel_ and the Chanel agency at thechanel.agency. Everywhere.
And what can people do if they're looking to get in contact with you for booking or whatever? What services do you offer through the Chanel agency?
I offer business consultations, photography, of course, but we're very different when it comes to that. We're full service, so you can get hair, makeup, styling, creative director, all of that in one, as well as cosmetic services, etc. But you can find all of that if you go on the CoChanel _ on Instagram, Linktree. You'll see everything there. I'll be there.
Lit. Okay, lit. Well, thank you again.
No
Anything
problem.
you want to say to the people as you tune out?
I want to say, creators, follow your dreams. Like, push through, because we got this. Like,
That's lit.
and love, for sure.
Love. Okay, bet. Creators, follow your dream and always lead with love.
Love.
Well, that's this episode of Pay Attention. I appreciate you guys for tapping in. We'll see you guys next week. Pay attention. We out.